So why would you even want one of these? For one, it could literally save your life. All right, folks, this is the Break-Free Helmet Light. It's a wireless brake light for your helmet. I know, strange. So why would you even want one of these? For one, it could literally save your life. What do I mean by that? We know that one of the ways that motorcyclists are injured or even killed is through rear end collisions. But unfortunately, sometimes when you're braking, you're not actually pulling in the front brake or tapping the rear brake. Sometimes all you're doing is letting off of the gas. In that moment, you're doing what's called engine braking. And that's not going to light up your rear brake light. If a car is following too close behind you, as soon as you let off that throttle, they're not going to know that you are actually slowing down because your brake light's not illuminating. This is where this comes in. With the brake-free light, it's wireless. It doesn't depend on any connection with your bike. So even if you are decelerating in any form or fashion, whether it's by braking or whether it's by taking your hand off the throttle and doing engine braking, either way, this is going to illuminate, as I just showed you in the very beginning. I'm turning it on, pressing it for 2 seconds. This is one of the modes right here. It's got an accelerometer and a gyrometer inside. It works in either direction, but I'm going to put it towards you. So, see, it just stopped right there. As soon as I stopped my hand, it stopped. I'm going forward, stop. Forward. And I stopped really abruptly at that point. So it even flashes, and it's more of a serious deceleration that you're doing. It blinked. It didn't just light up. It lit up and blinked. Why would you even want to bother with something like this? I mean, you want to put this on the back of your helmet? Yes, you do. Because I will say that motorcyclists in general, we may disagree on many things, but one thing that we happen to really agree on is not dying. If you can wear something on the back of your helmet, it's going to increase your visibility because you know what? When your brake light, it's like not at eye level, it's actually down low. And so if someone is in some big SUV or looking ahead, the top of your helmet is going to be a much easier way to see you. And I just want to let you guys know, I am not sponsored anyway. I mean, look at the number of subscribers on my channel. Nobody is sponsoring me at all. This is definitely not a sponsored video, but I personally use it and I just want to tell you guys about it and how it works and whether you think for you might think it's worth it or not. In this video, I'm just going to tell you about what it is, which I've already done a little bit about it. How does it work? How do you use it? How do you mount it to your helmet? And then if you stick towards the end, I'm going to actually show you real world me riding on my motorcycle with it attached to my helmet so you can see how it actually performs in real world conditions. Not only that, I'm going to show you some of the drawbacks as well. I don't know what you might be interested in, so I'm going to have some timestamps in the description so you can figure out which part of the video most interests you. Maybe you've already seen some reviews about the brake-free light and you might be more interested in the real world experience that someone has. You can go ahead to the timestamp that's below. If you have no idea what this is and you want to know more about it, then keep watching. This is how the brake-free light works. We have one button to turn it on, and on the bottom we have a little flap here where you can charge it. The original brake-free light was micro USB. The newer version is USB-C. I'm gonna close that. And now to turn it on, you're gonna press this button for 2 seconds. And the number of flashes tells you how full. There isn't a power indicator. You just see the number of flashes. And that when you on power up, and that can give you an idea of how much battery power it has. This is the first mode that it comes in. It has 3 different modes. If you press the button like just once like that, changes to another mode. And this is the last mode. I just press it again, where you kind of have this blinking mode. So those can be used for different things. Typically, I just use it like this. If it's at night, I will prefer to use this mode, though I don't really ride that much at night. Someone had mentioned that this one maybe could be more for inclement weather, you know, if you really want to be seen like that. But for me, I feel like this is good enough for me. And this is how it looks like, you know, like this is on the second mode, how much it lights up. And then if you have it on the last mode, it blinks. If it's a slow down, if it's an abrupt slow down, it'll blink, even though it's basically blinking. But again, I'll press it again, just goes back to your first one. And then of course, if you want to turn it off, press and hold 2 seconds, turns off. There's no wires, it's pretty simple. As I say, if you stay later on the video, you'll be able to see, is it really as simple as they make it out to be? Are there some caveats to using that? Now we have two helmets. This helmet, as you can see, already has it mounted to the back. This helmet does not have it on. This is an old helmet that I used to use. This was actually the first helmet that I ever owned, that I used it even before I was riding a motorcycle. This is when I was a passenger on motorcycles and a little bit when I first started riding. So I never mounted it. This helmet is just a DOT certified helmet. It's past its time for me, but I'm just having it here so that I could show you how would you mount this to the back of a helmet. Now this is the thicker version. It has adhesive on the back. So to attach the brake free light to the back of your helmet, you have to stick one of these mounts on the back and then attach the brake free light to the mount that you stick onto the helmet. They come in two different sizes, this chunkier one and the thinner one that you will find here. I have some extras that are thinner, but I could not find them for this video. So this is the thicker version. It's the same exact thing, just slightly thicker, has adhesive on the back. If you wanted to mount it on a helmet that didn't have it, typically if you were to do the unboxing, there's going to be like an alcohol wipe. If you don't have an alcohol wipe, you're going to wipe the back of this. You're going to want to put this on the flat section of the helmet. They also give you this guide right here that, you're supposed to cut out and center. For me, I feel like if you center it around the GOT or the logo, that's generally going to be pretty good. You want to put it here and then take a look at it. Does it make sense to you? If you were behind, you kind of want it on a flat part of the helmet. I mean, like right here, if I were to mount it on this helmet, I do think that this is probably a good position for it. You would, then want to take some tape or something, tape the edges to it. And then once you have it taped into position, you clean the helmet. First of all, you have to clean all the grime and everything off so that the adhesive will properly stick. Then you tape this to where it's supposed to be. You can also, if you ever lose this, you could print it online and do it that way too. You want to make sure all the lines are all lined up, nice and vertical, nice and straight. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. There are plenty of videos online that will show you. I'm just giving you the general idea. And once you kind of have it all nice and taped, you will, which I'm not going to even tape here, but you get the concept. You would then remove the adhesive, assuming this is already taped on here, and you just kind of gently put it here, and then you can just remove it and you press, you have to press on it for I think it's like a minute or 30 seconds to a minute. Again, Brake Free has videos showing installation practices. You leave it for I think like a few hours, like 3 hours at least, but I think a day is better. And then this is what it looks like at the end. Now, if you want to mount it on the back, you can see here, there's like this little trapezoid or whatever indentation there. And also on the back of the helmet, you can also see the same shape, right? So what you want to do is essentially want to match it up to the helmet like so. So at first, it has a nice fit. Then you just maybe put your hand at the bottom of the helmet, put your thumb at the top. You'll hear like a click like that. There you go. It should be on the helmet. It should be pretty secure. This is how it will look like on the back of your helmet. So I'm going to turn it on, 2 seconds. See, it looks like that. Now, if you're going down the road, you suddenly stop. There you go. Doesn't require any wires or anything. It just works. If you want to remove this from your helmet, let's say if you want to charge it or something like that, press 2 seconds to turn it off. I'm going to sort of lay it here. I'm going to put my hands on it like here. I'm going to push this way like that. You can see it click. Just raise up. Boom. Now, if you want to charge it, you have your little charging flap right here, port. Get your USB-C if you got the newer version, micro USB if you have the older version, and then you can charge it. So right now, this is a little bit of a real world test to see how the brake free helmet light does. Here, I did decelerate some and you saw that the helmet light illuminated. Here you see I pushed a brake and both illuminated, helmet light and rear end brake. Now in this particular case, I'm going over various bumps and things. This is showing the durability. The brake light did come on. Sometimes when I hit some bumps, I don't know, from deceleration from hitting the bump, it may cause the helmet light to come on, but the helmet light has been pretty sturdy. I haven't really had any problems with the bumpiness of the different terrain I have here in Cameroon. I have not had it to fall off. You see I'm slowing down here. The helmet light is turning on. I was pulling in the brake. You see the brake light also is turning on at the same time. So I'm kind of easing over this unroughed terrain here. And it's not like the helmet light is turning on or staying on the entire time. As I slow in stages, it was turning on. Here, as I'm shifting, you can see the helmet light turns on. That's one problem that it does have. Sometimes, occasionally, on upshifting, you will see the helmet light turn on. In this particular case, I was going pretty fast, took my hand off, the helmet light turned on. Here, as I was using the brake, the helmet light and the brake light were pretty close together and turning on. Same thing here, brake, you saw both of these cases, helmet light and brake light turning on. I haven't even had any problems in the rain with this. Even here, we can see a deceleration event happening from after accelerating, and the helmet light did turn on. in this particular case, you briefly see how the brake light is on, but the helmet light did not turn on. So that happens. Or the brake light here turned on before the helmet light slightly, and as I slow more and more, the helmet light will briefly illuminate some. It doesn't stay illuminated the entire time. Now here at the intersection here, as I was going already pretty slow, the helmet light only turned on very briefly, but you see the brake light more. Here in this particular case, you saw a little bit of deceleration, the helmet light turned on. Now in this particular case, I'm decelerating, but the helmet light did not actually turn on. So that does happen from time to time. It is definitely not perfect. I'm braking here with the brake light, and the helmet light also is not turning on right now. But here it did with the helmet light turning on. I think when you're accelerating pretty fast, it will decelerate a lot better than when you're going at a stable speed. Also, my motorcycle is not the most powerful, so it probably won't have this really significant engine braking like higher CC bikes. Again, here we have the brake light on, but while I was braking, the helmet light did not turn on. Part of it could be because I'm only on a 150cc bike, and so there's only so much engine braking that the accelerometer and gyrometer could pick up. Here, I am in traffic. I decelerated there. The helmet light did turn on. I'm pulling in the brake though, and it took an extra deceleration for finally the helmet light to turn on as I was braking. And also it's pretty bumpy, as you can see here. You can see that the helmet light does turn on from time to time. It's not a solid. But with the braking over the bumps, it is definitely still turning on, even in this bumpy terrain. So, what did you think? Did you like it? For me, it is worth it because now that you've seen it, you can make your own choice whether you think it's worth it or not for you. For me, I think even despite its drawbacks, that it's worth it for me because I have this whole little thing about not dying. As my mom would say, I don't have another body laying up in my closet in the house. So I kind of got to be careful. And Mom, if you happen to be watching, hey, I'm the type of rider, I want to do everything I possibly can do to give myself as much of an edge of safety and being prospering on the road as I possibly can. Now, if you're the kind of person where for you, it's not that big of a deal, even to wear a helmet and some gloves may be the most thing that you're wanting to do, then that's fine. I think even for someone like that though, that you just attach it to your helmet, you can have different mounts on different helmets, you can easily switch it back and forth. And I think even if you're not a super gear person, because it's just something that rests on your helmet, it's not really an extra thing that you have to suit up or put on or do anything like that. I think that being visibility is really important for us as motorcyclists. So it might be something that you would want to consider because there are many people who are driving distracted, and just being able to have something at eye level, maybe they're on the truck or SUV or in a regular car, and just having that line of sight is way better than simply dealing with just the light here. Driving here in Africa is very, very chaotic, and sometimes people will ride up really close on you, and having that light on the back, it just really kind of signals like, hey, you know, guys, just be careful for a moment. I think that it's really worth it. It is definitely a pricey sort of upgrade. If you don't have all your gear, or I would say if you're somebody who's trying to collect all your gear together, or you don't have all your gear yet, maybe you just have a helmet and a few pieces of your kit, definitely completing your kit is way more important first. But if you have completed your kit and you have an extra cash lying around, I would think it's worth it. Now it is on the website, I think a retail price is $160. However, there are several YouTubers who do talk about the brake-free light and offer discount codes. In fact, it is through watching these various YouTubers I myself learned about it. And I also use one of these discount codes to knock it down to $150. It's not a lot, but it is something. If you're getting it from the EU site, which ships to other countries, the US site only ships to US and Canada. But if you go to brakefreetech.eu, it ships to more countries, most of the countries in Europe, and some out like Morocco, Turkey, and other places. You can also contact them if your country is not on the list to see if they will ship to your country. And of course, outside of that, you can also just have someone in whatever country where it does ship to ship it over to you. If you have someone or contact in that country, that's what I did for mine. I bought it on the US site, and then I had someone send it to the post office and mail it to me here in Cameroon where I got it. If you go to the EU site, you just have to be aware it's a decently more expensive there. If you want to get the old version, which has the micro USB version, that's going to be 150 euros, which you get most of pretty much what the newer version has. You can watch videos as people, there's several people who have compared the difference between version 1 and version 2, but if you want the version 2, it's going to set you back 190 euros. I get it. It's not a cheap sort of thing that you would do. How important is visibility? If you happen to have the extra money lying around, I think it's a worthy investment in yourself. I think it'd be something worthy to save up towards. Again, I don't get any money from this whatsoever. I'm just doing this as a service to the motorcycle community in general. And just telling you about my experience, how I've been using it, how I feel like it's made a difference for me. I just wanted to share, and then everyone makes their choice. And if you really liked or appreciated this video, if you would like, subscribe, comment, even if it's just an emoji. If you liked it, give me a happy emoji. If you didn't like it, give me a frowny emoji. And if it was just blah, then give me a blah emoji. Just some sort of interaction, whether you liked it or not. It really helps the algorithm, so a small YouTuber like me can go out further out and have more people watching. I'm an American living abroad. I learned how to ride motorcycles here in Africa. Here we are. And so that's what my videos are. There's my journey learning how to ride here in Africa, and also some tips and tricks on maintenance and repair of motorcycles every once in a while. And also I'm going to be doing maybe some gear reviews or things that I use here that I found, like this whole brake-free light that I hope that you will find interesting. Maybe some things you have seen or been wondering about, or things you never even heard of before. Until next time, I hope you have a great day, great night. Bye.